I'm back. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I'm so glad that you're here. I know we're halfway done with the month of January, so by now you probably already did your New Year's resolution list, started to write down your goals, and this year I decided to do a vision board. As I was creating this vision board, I started to think to myself, what exactly can I do differently from last year that would make my goal a reality? How can I start making small changes and change small habits in my life and work on systems to make my goal a reality? I know in the past I've started out all happy creating my New Year's resolutions, but a few weeks in, a few months in, I would feel already unmotivated and completely forget about all the things that I set out to do. So I wanted to share with you some of the things that I've done in the beginning of the year to help me create better habits and to kind of just reset everything that I've done last year. The end of last year, my husband and I, we started to think about all the things that we needed to change to create better habits in our lives and to just feel more motivated and be more productive. So as we were talking about this, we coincidentally watched this video of a YouTuber doing a dopamine detox. And at the time, I didn't even know what that was. But as he explained, the reason for the detox was because he was feeling unmotivated and he felt like he needed a reset and a refresher on his life. And we kind of felt the same way. So we decided we were going to try to do the same thing. First of all, what is dopamine? Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that's responsible for motivation, attention, and mood. And it's also responsible for giving us that feeling of satisfaction. If you're constantly getting high levels of dopamine from unhealthy sources, you're only going to be teaching your body to do the things that it wants and not the hard things that most of the time needs to be done. And because of that, you're not going to be achieving the things that you achieve, and you're only going to be looking for a instant satisfaction. Whenever it comes to making decisions, your brain is going to automatically choose the one that's going to release more dopamine because it knows it's going to give you more pleasure. For example, would you rather eat some chips or broccoli? Would you rather play video games or do some homework? Would you rather watch your favorite TV show or learn a new activity? Would you rather sleep early or stay up scrolling on your phone on social media? And you might think that's not terrible. This is what we all do. And that's true. However, when you get these high levels of dopamine from doing the things that you want to do constantly, your brain is always going to want to simulate that over and over again. And eventually it's going to become a habit in your life. And eventually you're going to have an urge for it. And soon enough, that's when addiction comes in. So the goal of the dopamine detox is to remove all distractions and get your brain to do hard things. The idea behind it is also to stop depending on activities that are addictive, like social media, gambling, or eating junk food, or binge watching Netflix, and all of these things that are constantly around us. So the rules are, during the detox, you're abstaining from all activities that are addictive and that can raise your levels of dopamine too high. You're avoiding dopamine triggers for a set period of time. And if you're thinking about doing this detox as well, be aware of what's a trigger for you because we're all different. So just be aware of what you need to abstain from. So my husband and I, after we talked about this and we decided we were gonna do this for 1 week and see all the things that we need to abstain from and just see how it's going to work for us. So the first thing we abstained from was social media. So we both been feeling like we've been spending a lot of time on social media and not being very productive. So that was the first thing that we decided we were gonna abstain from for a whole week. And there have been times before that I stayed off of social media for a month or a few weeks even, but that was a long time ago, and I really felt like I needed to do that again. And of course, I love social media, and especially for me with my jewelry business and my husband with his digital marketing business, it's part of our businesses. So it's very important to be aware of how much time you're spending on there and be productive on there, because social media is pretty much made for us to be addicted to it, and we need to be aware of that. So the first few days when we started the detox, I constantly would go on my phone and try to go to the app where it was, but thank goodness we deleted all the apps, which that's pretty important. But after the first day, after that, I didn't even notice, or I didn't even go on my phone anymore. The second part of the detox is, if you're abstaining from something, have a good habit to put in place of that. And that's also something that I've learned from the book Atomic Habits, where it talks about how a lot of the times we try to just stop doing our bad habits, but that's not how it really works. So the best thing we can do, and that can help us, is to get a good habit and put in place of that bad habit. And soon enough, you're gonna start making minor changes that can have a big impact later on. So one thing that I've noticed, I was able to be more productive throughout the day and getting my things done. As a long term, that was actually fulfillment for me. It wasn't an instant satisfaction, but it was fulfilling to be able to get things done and be more productive and create a checklist during the day. That was something that I didn't do, and go ahead and start working from one until the last thing that you need to do on your day and start getting those things done. For me, it made me feel like I was being way more productive throughout the day.
Oh guys, my hair is getting in the way.
Another thing I decided to do was go to the library. And at the library, I was able to get some work done and look through some books, and it was very fulfilling for me at the end of the day. And that was something that I didn't do. I haven't been to the library in a long time, and I actually liked it. And that's probably something that I want to add to my daily activities throughout the year. Even if it's not a daily thing, of course, I can do that once a week or once a month. So another thing we abstained from was no Netflix or no TV shows, no movies, no streaming on any of the platforms. That was something that was a little bit challenging for us, because we're so used to watching things together all the time, because that's something we enjoy doing. But we knew that we were spending a lot of time doing that and not doing the other things that we needed to do. Because we weren't watching any TV, I was able to add more reading into my daily routine, and we were able to spend more quality time with each other. Even though we do spend a lot of quality time together, or if we're just sitting next to each other watching something, it's not the same as actually spending quality time just talking to each other and laughing together and enjoying each other's company. So we had more time doing that. During dinner time, we would just sit and talk and laugh and eat, when usually we would just watch something on TV and have our dinner. But that was very fulfilling for me as well. So another thing we abstained from was no sugar, no junk food, no chocolate. And obviously I love all those things, so we knew we needed to abstain from that. And we have been eating very unhealthy, so we also added going to the gym or taking walks. I enjoy going for walks and going to the gym, but a lot of times it's kind of hard for me to actually get out the house and do it. So another thing my husband decided to abstain from was eating meat. And at the beginning, that was a little bit challenging for us because we're not used to not having meat, I guess. But I know that isn't anything ridiculous to abstain from, but we wanted to do this because meat is something that he really enjoys to eat. So I did the same thing. And I also abstained from coffee. I didn't have any coffee. And even though I don't have coffee every day, I actually did feel a little bit nauseous, and I had a headache the second day because I didn't have coffee. And I was working with my mom the whole day, and I was telling her about how I was having a headache, and she said that's probably from not having coffee. So by the third day, I was already feeling okay, and I didn't even think about it anymore. So another thing we were gonna start doing was going to bed a little earlier and waking up a little earlier. We've been sleeping a little late and not feeling very well throughout the day and tired and all that. So that was something that we knew we needed to change in our lives in order to start creating better habits. We also started waking up a little bit earlier because we decided we were going to start reading the Bible more together, and we've been reading the Bible following this chart, and it gives you the days and the verses that you're supposed to be reading, so you can follow that chart to read the Bible through the whole year. So those are some of the things that we decided to abstain from, and some of the things that we added to our lives, to our daily activities, so we can learn to start doing harder things and start creating better habits in order to fulfill and make our goals a reality. And just because we did this detox doesn't mean our lives changed and that now we're doing super well, we're being very productive. No, this was simply a way to get your brain to start learning how to do hard things again. And if you don't do it constantly, it can go back to how it was before. So that's something that we constantly need to work on, and doing small changes every day. And those small changes can become something big in the future. So I've seen other people do this detox as well, and a lot of people do way more things than we did, or just do a whole day of fasting and just having water and meditating. So there are different ways that you can do this, and a lot of them exile themselves from their friends and family, but that was something that my husband and I, we didn't do because we chose not to do that. Really, we had things going on. We had a small group at our house. We went to visit my family during the weekend, and we got there, they were eating things that we couldn't eat, they were watching TV, but in a way, it was for us to understand that just because someone's doing something doesn't mean you have to do it too. If you have a purpose and you have your goal, you need to stick to it. It doesn't matter what's around you. So that was kind of challenging for us, but it was a good thing to learn. So if you're thinking about doing the dopamine detox, I hope this video has been helpful for you to see some of the things that we did and some of the things that worked for us. I'm going to leave a link down here so you can get some information, or you can just go ahead and Google dopamine detox. And also I'm going to leave the video of the YouTuber that we watched, of him talking about the dopamine detox. And I will be bringing more videos about lifestyle and my business and my jewelry company. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching.